Some days may be busier than others at a fire department. But 1 year ago at this time, for the Grand Fire Protection District,
That was quite different than anything we've done before.
busy is just one way to describe what the East Troublesome Fire was like.
But I don't think any one of us ever thought we'd have a fire that went from Kremling over to Estes Park.
Fire Chief Brad White recalls the day the fire exploded in size.
But by 6:30, the whole world had changed. And, I think it stunned and shocked not just the locals, but, spent a lot of time talking with those folks on these incident management teams that do a lot of big fire, and none of them had seen anything like this.
It's something scientists like Janice Cohen with the National Center for Atmospheric Research in Boulder didn't expect either.
It was definitely an outlier.
She's been modeling fires for years and made this one of the East Troublesome Fire. Specifically, it's the period when the fire burned 87,000 acres between October 21st and 22nd. The green and blue colors represent wind speed.
It lay in a river of strong winds, pushing it up over the top of the Continental, spotting over the Continental Divide, and then threatening Estes Park. I'm always curious to try to understand from the mechanics, from the physics of why that happens.
And the tools used to model and forecast different kinds of fire, she says, miss something right now.
They're based on methods that have been around for a very long time. The current operational models don't include these fire-induced winds created by the fire, and they're often the most dominant winds in certain events.
Which, generally speaking, could help with predicting a wildfire's growth and direction, like the East Troublesome Fire.
I think of it more holistically as a system, and I think that's perhaps what we're missing in forecasting now, is just thinking of the effects of the fuels or particular aspects.
And while she says this particular fire was primarily wind-driven, foresters like Matt Schiltz and Ron Kusno with the Colorado State Forest Service say it was primarily fuel-fed, citing things like tree rot and beetle kill.
They're called 1,000-hour fuels, and that means they take about 1,000 hours to equalize with the surrounding air mass. 1,000 hours is a lot of days, it's a lot of weeks.
Their role is to eliminate those fuels, and the fire itself, they say, has shed more light on the need to do that quicker.
Any mechanism, in our toolbox that we have, whether that's going to be timber sales, finding grant money to go and pay a contractor to physically cut and remove that biomass, working with communities to have them take on their own initiatives and their own efforts around their homes.
And it also shed more light on expecting the unexpected, even for those who fight the fires. The Grand Fire Protection District hired out an entire truck specific for fighting wildfires, something they wanted to get done initially in the next few years.
Response is one side, and, we'll continue to make those improvements as we can.
And as for predicting fires, Cohen is hopeful that modeling will only improve and help all areas in a wildfire event.
And I think within a decade, we should be able to predict not only where a fire is going to go and how fast, but other important factors like where these large fire whorls are going to form. And I think there's a lot of promise, and we should see a lot of development in the next decade for sure.
Luis De Leon, 9 News.